I'm Lexi from Featurette, and I'm the singer and keys player.
Hi, my name's John. I'm in the band Featurette, and I play drums, and I do a bunch of programming.
So Featurette is many things. It's something that John and I created a couple years ago where we try to create soundscapes, sort of sound environments for you to live in that are just a little bit different than sort of what's out there right now in the electro-pop world. We're focusing sort of on creating a vignette, you know, like a little picture, a little featurette, if you will. So every song we write is sort of a mini movie in that way. And most recently, stuff that we've created like Bang and Upside Down, they've got a lot of frustration in them and a lot of angst, so we're trying to pull on some of those darker colors as of late.
So we started at a band camp. I'm sure Lexi probably told you one time at band camp we started a band.
Featurette started at a band camp. This one time at band camp, John was playing the guitar and he was pretty shitty at it, and like so was I.
And the story is pretty much the same. I was playing guitar up there and I was really bad at it, and I kind of bullied her into playing with me, so I was going to do a performance for the camp to show the kids that even if you play professionally one instrument, it's always good to like change it up and like test yourself and do something you're uncomfortable with.
So we started playing together, hoping that, like, you know, two negatives make a positive or something. Yeah, anyway.
I was pretty uncomfortable playing guitar and singing, so Lexi helped me, and then she had a songbook that she'd been keeping since I think she was 16. And so we looking through it and I'm like, these are actually really good. And we made a couple folk tracks out of them.
We recorded a demo back in the day that was a little bit more country folky sort of, and then we went through many iterations of the band and we saw it in many different lights. We did some more rock stuff, we did some indie rock stuff, and then we finally found our footing in electronic music, so that's sort of what we've been focusing on a lot more, and I feel like we've really got our sound together now. I guess you'll have to wait and see with what's coming, but yeah, we're excited.
And then we're just never, ever going to ever play folk. I kind of replaced all the backgrounds with some electronic stuff over maybe a 3-month period, and that sort of began what is now Featurette.
Balancing music with other aspects of your life is an enormous challenge. I think that most smaller Canadian bands can agree, or most smaller bands in general can agree. Music is not something that you go into and you're like, how I'm gonna pay my bills, how I'm gonna like run the rest of my life. I'm just gonna like, you know, go into music and it's all gonna be fine and like everyone's gonna love it and it'll just take off. Like that's never the mentality that you wanna go into it with. But at the same time, like you kind of can't give up on it either. Like it's not really a choice that we made so much consciously. It's just something that found us and now we have to do it, and that's just what it is, and we're gonna keep doing it until, you know, there's nothing left to do. I want to do it all. But as far as the other aspects of life, I'm very lucky and very fortunate to be a business owner. I run a company in Toronto that focuses on art and creative events, and more recently another company that focuses on art in the way of planting and gardening. I don't know if you've noticed any of my many plants in the room, but it's something I'm definitely into. We run these paint nights in the city. John and I actually do that together, which is very fortunate because it means that we have the same schedule, and then we can take that on the road, which is interesting because most people aren't really in a position to do so. Like I don't have a 9 to 5, I've got a 9 to 9, 9 to 14. It just goes on forever. But at the same time, I make my own hours. I hire my own staff. I find my own workers to host the events. And in that way, I sort of have created freedom where I can make music as much as I want to, as much as I can. So I'm really lucky in that way.
My favorite thing we've done as a group is actually just that we have a group. So I think it's kind of amazing that starting from being at a camp, playing guitars badly, singing even worse, that we've able to have music that's been on the radio across Canada and that people actually care about. And that's like been a lengthy progression of learning sort of avenues to take your music to, or you know, getting help from places like Factor, and finding, you know, using help from some of my friends that got our first album to be recorded for like nothing. All these things, that's sort of my proudest moment of it. Like recently, being on tour has been amazing. I love being on the road. But it's about the fact that the band exists at all. That people care about it, that's like my favorite. It's so great.
I think this past year, 2017, we played a tour with Scott Hellman that was just a different level than we were at before, you know?
Guys, ready to get this party started, yeah? 'Cause who's up next? Who's up? Hey, Scott's up next, yeah!
Like, it's one thing, we did another tour in the fall with the Mono Whales that was awesome and like so much fun, and so like just jokes and fun every day. But like we're both young bands in Ontario. Like it's not like the rooms were like sold out every night, you know, it wasn't that kind of a vibe. But like touring with Scott, like he's got some big labels behind him and stuff, and there were people in that room that were just like screaming his name, you know, like he's like really doing it, he's like really in the game, and he's at the next level that we're gonna get to. So just like being able to see that and sink my teeth into it and take his audience that's so excited to see them and warm them up for him and really just give it, like our live show is so intense. Like we built this 8-foot tall LED wall that's in the shape of an F that I spend like 100 hours programming that's like choreographed to our set pretty much. And like it's a really intense show, so being able to showcase that intensity on stage was just incredibly rewarding. Like I didn't have to apologize for anything, and like all the fans in the room were just eating it up. Like it was a real, like it was a taste of what's coming, you know, and it just made me hungry for more.
We recently released Upside Down.
Now we're upside down. We are upside down.
Kind of a political song that we'd written. I think Lexi got me in to sit down to do it when Trump was elected, and we kind of had an idea, and then we revisited it last year and spliced it all up. It actually got a lot of people seem to identify with it. I think we might be feeling the same frustration that we were feeling when we put into the song.
But all the while, what you didn't see was that since the summer we've been writing and we've been in the studio actively as much as we possibly can. And I think sooner than later, definitely this month, I'm gonna get to hear some of the new songs that production has finally started to begin wrapping up on them. So there's a couple of things up my sleeves. Yeah, we've got some really interesting stuff coming out that I'm really proud of. I think it's in a bit of a different light than what we've been doing before. We're sort of exploring some less dark stuff, but it's still us, you know? I can't wait. I can't tell you, but I can't wait. If you haven't heard it yet, I hope we meet someday on stage where I can like really immerse you in the full experience and like show it to you. I think that online, when people listen to stuff, it's only sort of half of the story. Although it's a really great place to start. And if you're a music lover, get into it. Go down those Spotify playlists, go down those rabbit holes and like discover something new to show your friends, because there's a lot of good music out there. There's a lot of artists just like us that are working so hard to create something unique, and they don't even know why. It's just that we could just find ourselves doing this crazy thing, but like I can't stop it, so I'm not gonna stop. So you may as well come catch up. Go listen, go check it out. I'm really proud of what we're doing, and I can't wait to share it with you.
I'm just gonna keep doing it until people tell us not to do it anymore. I think that's basically all you can say. Anything else? I want to get on the road again. We're trying to get that happening soon. But it's like the next thing for us is these next 4 songs to see how they go. That's basically that decides our next year.